Welcome to the Explainer. So you're feeling that pressure, right? The pressure to build the next great AI application, but you're just not sure where to start. Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're giving you the complete, step-by-step roadmap. Look, if you're a developer or a tech leader, you know exactly what this feels like. The world of AI right now is just this whirlwind of new models, new platforms, new APIs. It's awesome, but man, it can be totally overwhelming. Don't worry, we're going to cut right through all that noise.
With all this complexity, it's so easy to just feel, paralyzed. But what if I told you there's a clear, methodical process you can actually follow to build your AI app from the ground up? Okay, let's dive in and see how it all works.
All right, think of this as a builder's journey. First, we're going to size up the challenge we're facing. Then we'll draft our blueprint, pick our tech stack, and make some really critical decisions. After that, we'll learn how to navigate the security minefield. And finally, chart a clear path to success.
So, let's get right to it. What is it about generative AI that makes it so uniquely difficult to work with? We need to get to the heart of this challenge first.
The complexity really boils down to four main things. First, your app probably needs to be multimodal. You're dealing with images, audio, not just text. Second, it's highly decomposed, meaning it's split across tons of microservices. This creates what we call data gravity, pulling your system into different clouds, and the whole thing is held together by this kind of fragile web of APIs.
You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint, right? So you definitely shouldn't build an AI application without a solid strategy. Before you even think about writing a single line of code, you have got to answer some basic questions about what you're really trying to accomplish.
Okay, so the very first step is to define your why. Are you building a brand new product for your customers, or are you trying to improve an internal process? Then you got to decide your how. Are you going to build it yourself, buy a solution off the shelf, or outsource it? I promise you, your answers here are going to dictate everything that follows. Now let's talk deployment. Option 1 is SaaS AI. This is by far the simplest path. You're basically just renting the AI capability from a provider. It's fast, it's easy, and it's totally hands-off.
Option 2, cloud-hosted AI. Now this gives you way more control because you're running on platforms like AWS or Azure. But, and this is a big but, with that control comes a lot more responsibility. You're the one managing the systems now.
Then there's option 3, self-hosted AI. This is for when you need maximum, and I mean maximum control. You run absolutely everything on your own hardware. It's going to be resource-intensive for sure, but you own and control the entire environment. And our final option, edge-hosted AI. This one is perfect for apps that need real-time speed and beefed-up privacy. You're running the computation directly on local devices like a kiosk, totally away from the cloud.
Okay, so we've got our blueprint in hand. Now it's time to choose the construction materials. Let's break down the tech stack for a modern AI application into its 4 essential layers.
Every modern AI app really has 4 layers. You got to start with the data layer. That's your foundation. Then comes the model layer, which is the brains of the whole operation. The orchestration layer, well, that acts like the nervous system, connecting everything. And finally, you've got the operational layer, which keeps it all running smoothly and securely.
All right, now we are at a super critical decision point. We have the structure of our stack, but how is our model actually going to use knowledge to think and respond? This, my friends, is where the real magic happens.
So you face this fundamental choice, RAG or fine-tuning. RAG is fantastic for applications that need current, up-to-the-minute information. But fine-tuning, that's your weapon of choice when you need absolute peak performance and consistency on a very specific, specialized task.
Now, to bring that strategy to life, you're going to need a framework. Think of LangChain as the perfect toolkit for building those complex, autonomous agents that can pull off multi-step tasks. And LlamaIndex? Well, it's the absolute master of building powerful Q&A systems on top of your own private documents.
Let's be real. Your AI application is like a fortress holding valuable data and capabilities. And just like any fortress, it is going to be attacked. So now we need to turn our full attention to security.
So here we see a pretty standard, clean-looking architecture for a RAG application. You've got data flowing neatly from the user through the front end, the orchestration layer, and various back-end services. Looks simple, right? Wrong. The second we overlay the OWASP top 10 security risks, that clean picture just vanishes. And what we see is that threats aren't just at the gates. They are embedded in every single part of the stack. Your fortress has vulnerabilities everywhere.
And we're talking about major threats here.
Things like prompt injection, sensitive data leaks, and even data poisoning that can literally corrupt your model from the inside out. These are not abstract risks. They are active threats, and they're targeting every single component you build.
So, after this whole journey, from a high-level idea all the way to the hard realities of security, what are the absolute must-remember principles for your own project? Let's distill it all down.
Here they are, the 4 golden rules. Strategy always comes first. Build your app in clean, manageable layers. Choose your core technologies deliberately for your specific use case. And most importantly, build for security from day one, not as an afterthought.
Look, let's be honest, the AI landscape is constantly changing. The tools and models we talked about today, they might be different in 6 months, but a rock-solid strategy and a team that's truly ready to adapt, that will always be your key to success.